Hi there, everybody. So just continuing from the previous video. Now, if you didn't see that one yet, that's fine. Even though it's a continuation, I wanted to do it all in the same one, but things kind of froze up, and when they came back, there was a little blurb at the top, and I just felt like it wasn't recording properly. So, but it even though so it's like the rest of part one or part two, however you want to say it. But either way, it's not one of those things that you've missed. You've missed a lot if you didn't see part one. There was only about 14 minutes in anyway. But I was talking about somebody who semi isn't a surprise that they came to mind. But anyway, um, and what I think, you know, and what I would say is the most um, kind of nice aspect or important aspect of that person is is sorry, my neck was just a bit cold a little earlier. Is that they wish to, a lot of us do, and that's great. But I guess not only that they wish to, but they get to help others who are struggling. And also tell a story that is relatable. And, you know, I'm sure she probably realized too that some of the people who were kind of clients may have seen her performance um, at the festival. I remember feeling a little bit emotional again, even though I didn't necessarily agree with some of the ways that she approached things. I mostly appreciated her as a person, and I guess I related to her. You know, about how her parents were, especially. I did read about that topic a little bit last night. That wasn't meant to sound like too personal, but people felt they wanted to talk about it. That's what I was thinking about, kind of thing. Um, but also, sorry. Um, I don't know if I want to say the other one. I don't want it to be misinterpreted, but I mean things can always be, I suppose. But I guess I just when I compare this person I'm thinking of to myself, there are even within this same kind of topic I'm thinking about, there are definitely differences. I mean, not just because we're different people. Well, I guess that's a big part of it, but um, I don't know. I don't know. I related and I empathized. That's really what it is. Um, so in that previous video, chapstick if you're curious, chapstick if you're not, I was going gonna go through the alphabet to think of those special people. And if you know what I'll add to that is if I can't think of a person, um, I might just not be thinking of somebody, but doesn't mean there wasn't one. Maybe I'll try and think of a song. I mean, I've only written a few originals, so more likely it would be one somebody else's original that's already pretty well known. But let me just see here for a moment. That maybe starts with the letter of that title, or the title starts with that letter. Um, I don't know if I should try and find another one for B, because ironically, the person that I think of with that, I did a previous video about, and a song, um, a couple of recent videos. So I figure we've covered that person, and what they've been in my life, and what I hope they still could be. So as I was mentioning just before you tuned in, because I haven't been rolling very long, but again, don't worry that you missed part one. This is You meant to see this part, I guess. And I'm looking through the alphabet and either thinking of somebody whose name starts with each letter who has been special and important to me, especially that I've known in my life, but perhaps, maybe a famous person, I don't know, or a song. So I've done A already. Let me think of B, and you're welcome to do the same. Um, right. So I was mentioning that I kind of already did do B as well, but in the previous video. I don't know if there's another one though. I feel like there should be. And this is where the comments can help inspire each other to um, remember names that start with Z. Hello, somebody. Look, we've got somebody here. um, okay. Obviously, I'm in the beginning of the alphabet. You're starting in the latter letters. I'm curious. One, have you ever been to the channel before? Two, if not, how did you come across it? And three, if you want to say where you're from, but I've got to ask that almost, I can't quite tell what your image is in that small version. Now, since you're saying those, I do feel like maybe I might mention them and then go back to either B or C, whichever, go back to BC. Before Christ or British Columbia? It's a random set. Okay. Have you ever been to the channel before? And I welcome the other two people who just tuned in as well. Yeah, I realize that's what you meant. Some may not have, and sometimes I may not have, but I did this time. Cool. Well, glad to have you here. I have an interesting one for Zoe. I have an interesting two for Zoe, actually, and it's a unique name. One, ironically, was at the same place that I knew this Arlene lady from. And I was talking to her on the phone once, and I'd only had a few conversations with her. And from my memory, this goes back a little while, not more than 2 years, but I remember her asking, I guess so, but well, yeah, maybe. Interesting. And it's not just about my people either, or that kind of thing. But I remember her asking me, was I heating up my coffee in the microwave randomly? And I should have said it at the time, but I think I just said yeah and then continued whatever I was talking about. I think she was psychic. The other Zoe is part of the outdoor um, um, coordinating performances of the festival that I was mentioning. Uh, that that this Arlene lady was also in, so that's very random. Um, I don't know either of them super well to say that they especially. I mean, the one would be more special if she'd picked me as a performer. But then do I want to the city that I live in where I might see might later chat with people that saw me who I know and want to or wouldn't. Um, what do you do on the channel? Fair enough question to someone who's never been here before, and I don't know about the other two of you. Um, and I know this seems very random, and it is, in some ways. But I was watching an interview which inspired me to do it. It's talking about mental health, wellness, uplifting. I'm a musician, so I do music. If you have a song request, you can maybe put one. But I also want to focus on the theme of this video. But I have ADHD, and sometimes I'm very deep. It isn't a weekday, so the other person in the home is in the house, but it is a nice day. We have an errand we might do, but no set time to do it, as long as it's before 4 or 6, I think. And it's only just after 11 here where I'm at in Canada. Anywho, yeah, music, supporting each other, things that we're going through, that kind of stuff. The Zach one was actually somebody I'd hoped to get closer with, but got closer with someone who is like a mother or aunt or a grandmother to him. I know which one. I don't know. You'd have to ask him. But he's a musician in the community. Xavier is an actually interesting one because I just came across somebody who also from that place. I swear it's not the only, and I haven't been there in years. It's not the only place I go, but he worked there as well. All three of them worked there actually, and went by Xavier. I don't know if he still does, but I don't know a Yuri. Do any of those resonate for you or any of our viewers? That's something I'm curious about. And I'm gonna, in the meantime, go back to the letters. There's one person under the C category that I know with both. I know with two different kind of names, nicknames, whatever you want to call, and maybe I should talk about him for a moment. Um, I say him, but he's actually been exploring gender and possibly non-binary. Is also musical, um, very healing soul, very kind, very loving. Um, oh well, thanks for the God bless. I'm very curious since you brought God into this, what you think of the things I just said. But now we're done to one, so you took the other, one of them with you. um, Sorry you had to rush off, but thanks for letting me know, and thanks for the God bless. And if there's anything else you'd like to say while I'm sitting here thinking of names or songs, feel free. And I hope that you, I hope, I don't know if you're still here. There's one person that is. I don't know if it's you. Either way, I hope that you like and subscribe. See, that person, whether they're still here or not, enjoyed it, but maybe forgot to hit the like. Had to rush off and, oh, but maybe just remember to hit the like, or either that or it was one of the other three. Either way, I appreciate it. Um, and yes, I'd just love to hear how this resonates with other people. That person did kind of jog my memory a little bit, which I think I kind of had asked, but they totally, could have been talking about, you know, someone in their life too. Um, have I given enough accolades to that one person? Should I think of a second one as we get a second person that tunes in? Oh, I see the word God. I can't but think Christ a little bit. No, but I'm not that strongly religious. But I'm not either. So take that as you wish. um, and this may take a few moments, which is why I welcome your comments in the interim. It's not that we don't think. Sometimes we think of someone more strongly as the person they are, and their name kind of secondary. It doesn't have to be religious, but maybe you can include God if you want to. That's okay. Okay. Well, I mean, I am agnostic. I know I mentioned something about this person that started with the C. I mentioned a couple things, but one specifically, and I'm glad you're still here, and I hope that you've subscribed as well. I'm curious what your thoughts are about that. And is there, before you leave, if you're able, is there somebody that you'd like to talk about that's special to you? Or the second part of this was, is there a song that you feel really resonates or explains your life? Or what type of song do you feel would, if that's easier to answer? Um, I'm not at the G's yet. And yeah, I mean, I talk about that sometimes on this channel too, but not often. And that does make it a bit more relatable to those that wouldn't gel with that. Um, and I'm fine with that too. Um, and I mean, I wouldn't necessarily be singing super high praises to him either. I mean, I wouldn't say only negative things, but you know, and I don't think any of us should about anybody, but some make it a bit easier. I will say that. Uh, but there's always positives, right? So again, I'm going through the alphabet and I'm thinking about how to answer these questions in that way because I need to jog my mind somehow. Comments also do it, like I say. Um, hmm. How old are you, somebody? It's also very ironic. Oh, the theme. This is a theme and a half. Maybe it answers that other question, speaking of themes, because I've been mentioning people primarily from a certain place that I've had involvement at. Cool, cool. I'm in my late 30s. Um, but interestingly, um, I wrote a song about I wrote a song that the place inspired, where again I was a client, but I desired to be on the other side of things too. Hasn't been the easiest thing to accomplish, but I'd written a song. I don't think I have it posted on here. Might have it on another platform back in the day. I'm not sure, but where it was, I want to be more. I want to. Well, I forget. Basically about becoming a somebody, but I already am a somebody. That's the thing. But I'm not necessarily all that I want to be, and I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that too, right? A 20-year-old, you know, you're just starting out with your life. I mean, and if you believe in God, then I'm sure that you're putting a lot of it on His shoulders. Part of me has got to say, when I phrase it that way, does that seem fair to even God? But I'm sure that you're also hopefully trying to create the life that you want, and possibly largely have the life that you enjoy and want. Um, it's interesting to talk to the previous generation, and with my lived experiences, I can't sit here and make promises to anybody that life's going to be, all your dreams are going to come true, whether you are of faith or not. I wish I could. I wish I could say that. Most people are very deserving of just that. But um, I guess one thing I would say is that if you wanted enough, um, you don't give up, even if it feels like it makes so much sense, and you're ready. You're really ready to get to a point sometimes in life. Fail is okay. And if I may ask a personal question of you, because I'm a curious person, and anyone who sees this can answer as well. Two questions come to mind. One, and don't be ashamed, because we're all human. We all feel these things. What would you say is the biggest failure that you've had in your life? Have you overcome it or not? And if you haven't, I'd be happy to help you with it. And two, what do you feel you're learning from it? Or three, sorry, that was a lot. I'm going to sit here and think of letters, names, and songs while you answer. And I'm going to do it in my head so that you guys can think and comment. Um, hmm. So am I. Same habits? What do you mean by that? Oh, okay. Well, I mean, this is the thing. And I'm so thankful that she doesn't see it this way. Are you just enjoying your downtime, or and maybe a little bit burnt out, or in the struggles of life and in having some of those struggles? Or are you lazy? Because I don't watch a lot of content, but I know I've seen such content where the idea is kind of like some that may appear lazy actually aren't. And I would not say that I am. I sometimes would say that I feel like I am. But again, it's not always a bad thing. And sometimes it's a coping strategy, right? I relate to RFID a bit as well. So I think that's why we've connected with each other here. And I hope we will many more times. Um, Curious about the second person that's watching as well. Um, are you musical yourself, out of curiosity? I see. And that's not a bad mentality. Sometimes it's easier than other times. And yeah, I have. Yeah, we're relating. We're relating. Um, I wish I could remember all the lyrics to Mr. Brightside. I almost want to do it because of some of your comments. What's been hard about it? I think you're male, but I'm not sure. Either way, what's been hard about it? Um, mm, and that's hard as well. A lot of has a lot of changes. Um, I would love to do that song. I just don't know it very well. Open up your bitter heart, Mr. Brightside. It's also an interesting movie about that, actually, speaking about disabilities or challenges and this and that. And it could be seen as a controversial movie, but I'd be very curious for one or both or any of our viewers to look up the movie Mr. Blue Sky, I think it's called. So it's not Brightside. But, well, and it's the one with the girl with Down syndrome. Also, I'd be curious for you to look up the movie Wake. I think that was the one with the 20. No, I don't. I don't know if that would be easy to find. But there's full versions of these on YouTube. Um, Max and Me. I'd be curious your thoughts about that. These are some I've seen recently. Freebird, I think, with a BYRD. What was the other one? A country called Home, I think, 2015. Um, my family moved. So where are you watching from in the world? One of your relatives passed away. This is a shared channel, G and C initials, and G recently lost his sister. Um, that's something I sometimes talk about: healing through grief. Oh, lucky you, healing through grief. Um, and it's only been 22 minutes. Wow, I'm glad that you stayed, and I appreciate it. And honestly, you know, the kind of religious people that I get along with, and we certainly are people that are open minded, that aren't. I don't want to say aren't trying to change people or change their perspectives, because you can do that religiously or not. But that, and that was the one, but that use love and understanding as their compass in their faith, I guess is a good way to put it. No, back to two. Yeah, I understand why religion would be controversial. Um, yeah, but I mean, like I say, with respect, it's fine, you know, because, like, for instance, I do believe in the afterlife, and I talk about that sometimes, and sometimes even sense it. For the past 5 days in a row with them, and I talked to them. What's playing? Moment. Well, that's interesting. That is very, very interesting. So I want to tell you what that was if you didn't recognize those for a few seconds. I almost got the opportunity to perform for an event about suicide prevention. I know it's that word, and if we need to talk about it, we'll talk about it. And that, you know, yeah. But I was slightly misled or given a stupid excuse and didn't end up doing so. And I even did a little bit of but I thought, like, I want to be the hero or the savior for somebody, and that may have triggered somebody. And there was a bridge not far away, blah blah. So I actually did a little theater thing from home, where I kind of acted out what that would look like. I went one day and actually met a couple of I don't know if this would be the way to call them, Mormon missionaries, just while I was sitting there. Um, and wasn't much of a little bit of a conversation, and it was good. And they asked for my phone number, and I did give it to them. And they haven't said a whole lot since. Ever since I said I wasn't really interested in going to their service that they invited me to. um, I don't know if it was something else that I had said or not, but sometimes there's misunderstandings, or we can look past things. Well, as I mentioned, I do believe in the afterlife, so that is, yeah, I find that comforting. As much as it's also hard, because believing that our loved ones are in heaven and having to wait to see them, especially when life is challenging, is a hard one to swallow. I'm going to be taking a series of workshops, actually, kind of on these themes, and I'll let you know what I get from it, coming up next month, which is in a few days. Um, anyway, so I that same day that I went down to hang out and just see if anybody was thinking of doing something else, just to go for a bike ride and get out for a bit. Um, uh, I was looking up the band Casting Crowns, and I actually covered a couple of their songs too, I think. Uh, and although I mean, he was young. Well, so are you. He didn't seem like he'd heard of the song, the band. Anywho, and I had a bunch of their stuff still open, and I just happened to be doing this in a window. And like I say, I did a previous video before this that was about 15 minutes long, and that sound snippet that you just heard a moment ago was actually one of their songs called Spirit Wind, that I don't know, but I opened it, and it picked that moment to start playing that tab. Not long after I read about one of your relatives passing away, actually. So is that symbolic? I would say so. Um, it's an interesting question. I don't know if I want to answer that part, and I think that you will respect that. I get that sense from you. Um, I think that you can probably maybe get a sense as to what I might feel about it, but I may or may not be wrong about. I mean, I'm tempted to ask you the same question, and I definitely feel that people don't have to agree about everything, but there are some things that are a little bit. I feel that a little bit less about, and that might be one of them. But we got three of you here, and that topic may or may not resonate with you guys. So let's get back on topic to what I was saying. But if there's anything else you want to talk about the struggles with the autism, or the anxiety, or the topic at hand in the title, I mean, it's okay that. I mean, you started off that way, I guess. We got four of you here. So yes, the way that seems to make sense, other than in comments. Yeah. What, God loves me? Oh, thank God. No, just kidding. No, I'm just curious. Uh, but I think he does. I mean, I don't always feel it, but yes, I've heard of that. Yeah, and you as well. And it's hard to feel that he has a personal connection with each of us, because the world is a huge, huge place, and it's obviously very busy in it, and sometimes falling short, although sometimes that's the devil too. But anyway, and yeah. So again, let's get kind of midpoint to say, feel free to like and subscribe and all that stuff. But yes, I'm going to go back through the letters, because I feel like that's the way to approach what I'm doing with this video. Um, and I do and don't see that got off topic, but it's fine. Yeah, sounds good. I hope you've subscribed, and I try and roll most days. I do. Um, I do have a busy-ish October coming up, but I'm sure I'll still find time for the most part, and probably have things I want to talk about. So, oh, and you know what? It's interesting that you say it that way, because even though I struggle with pace sometimes and said the things I said, we've got one. We've already got a connection with each other. Me and God, and me and you, and all that. Okay, yeah, I appreciate it. I was pretty sure you had liked, yeah. And so yeah, just kind of going through but yeah, if you've got something to go to, I don't want to make you late for it. Well, I hope that you're going to have a great day. Curious what your plans are, if you'd like to say any of them, and then go do them. um, Hello.
Well, when you guys coming?
Okay. Are you finished your session?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know how much longer I'll do this for because I did want to do an errand before it gets too hot because we're actually still getting quite hot weather where I'm at in Canada, um, even though it's almost October. And I do want to just get that taken care of. I don't know if I should toggle with that tab. I looked generally, but I don't know if I should, and you don't got the time probably, so that's fine. Whoops. Um, well, if you want to spend some time outside for a little bit,
Now so far, and it's the. Are you're modulating?
I am. So we don't have to talk about not that the reason, but
It's not necessary to actually get with this whole thing. After 5 days, it gets destroyed.
Anyway, I'd still like to bring it in though. So it's nice enough out. So, anywho, but I want to at least try and get a few more letters out of the way. Today's show is brought to you by the letters A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So how about up to G? Well, I started with G in the previous one because that's where the G and C comes in, and that was G with just hearing. So I mean, that one made the most. I didn't have to do this other method to think of them, and maybe I don't anyway. But it seems like the way to do it. So here we go. So we are on the D's, I believe. Think that a little bit, and although you both left, so maybe it should. But but either someone came back or somebody else is here. So happy to have you here. Welcome. Curious if you've been to the channel before, and if not, how you came across it. I really hate to because I feel like I literally just did just before you came in and you left. So good. Well, not necessarily good. Oh, but either you're back or someone else is here. Trying to do one other thing before we head out anyway. So okay, and we unfroze, so that's good. Do they remind me of anybody? Just seeing something on a feed. Shared device or G's page. And I know the one name. Yeah, a little bit of Suzanne. Also from you know where. Well, you don't know where, but the place I keep going on about. um Actually, 1 minute. It's interesting that it let me do that, considering that it was already using the thingamajig. Okay. So, yeah. I don't know if I should do it that way or do it by the names on this post that I'm looking at. Even thinking with the alphabet is not the easiest way to do it. I hope that guy will be open-minded about the other stuff I post. I mean, I said what I said. He didn't say, I'm sorry. God I might not be able to do that. So hopefully the fact they didn't say it means that it is. If that makes sense. Anyway, D. We got 3 of you here. Welcome. Almost all at the same time came in. Somebody, going by somebody, had to leave a moment ago. Now do we have anonymous or who do we got? Again, I don't really want to re-explain what I'm doing because I already have a couple of times in this video as new people have turned in, probably more than a couple of times. And I feel like it's just repeating myself. So I'll just do it and you'll get the sense. And you can also just feel free to comment based on what you're seeing about this video. Anything. Oh, if I can't think of a person, right, we're going to think of a song. Hopefully he won't be too noisy. we could watch it, but I don't really have anything lined up anyway. So I'm just getting hungry and want to do my errand shortly. I'm tempted about that, but I don't want to do that by other things that they make, which I might be. I might be. um, Trying to think of a song that's title starts with D that relates to my life or possibly yours. Let's get to that like that. Okay. Um, Songs and names, they should be easy, like as far as that I've been connected to, but I'm sort of struggling, so feel free to suggest. Um, it's interesting. The name Dan just came to my mind. I don't know if I've been close enough with any of them to talk about a little bit, or that I would necessarily consider them to be someone who had a special impact in my life. But then I also thought of Danny Boy, the song, which might be the best I can do for that letter, unless somebody else. Um, and actually, I don't want to focus on that too much, for a particular reason. E. 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 Oh, that's what are you doing? Huh? Oh, I see. I mean, reads lots of fun things. Well, it's kind of her job, but and she seems to accept even though she's also very religious and old. We talk about a religious 20-year-old as compared to. I mean, that doesn't mean that one's more right than the other necessarily. Um, and again, I don't want to get too much back into that topic at the moment, but she's close to 80, if not in her 80s. Thinking of old people, I knew somebody with a mother who lived to be 104 up until recently. So, I mean, maybe Clark, but I talk about him sometimes. So, and he's gotten around in the world when he was younger. I'm sure he traveled a bit. In fact, his obituary said that he did. So, G D E F G. I hope other people are better at this than I am. Um, I'm sure if I turned on the radio, I might be like, "Hey, isn't that ironic?" That's the letter I was on, which wasn't A. Hey, isn't that ironic? And yeah, that song. But YouTube wouldn't want me to have the radio on, I'm sure, so I won't. And then you could look at celebrities too, which may or may not make it any easier. um, or yeah, I mean, if we're looking at songs, we're looking at the people that perform the songs. Um, the thing about it is it's true. It's kind of true when you think about it. A lot of them have similar qualities about them. Kind, accepting, fun. You know, um, so that almost becomes a bit repetitious. I remember, I think that website. Right. Man, that's pretty good. Kim Patty. I mean, let's get your mail name there. I think I will wrap up because at least there was somebody that was here commenting for a little while, and those somebody just tuned in. So let me see, what letter did I actually leave off at? Um, I think G or H, but I'm just going to do this really quickly, going through my head, and if something pops out, it pops out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. You can say something that might jog something for me. Otherwise, it's an answer for you, and that's cool. Happy to hear it from you based on the title. I'm just trying to bring thoughts out of my head, which usually isn't difficult, but um, JK. So I've slowed down a little bit with this video, but again, you can join the chat based on the title and pick things back up a little bit. Although I won't roll much longer. I keep thinking more strongly of people, whether it's because that resonates more strongly with me. I don't know. So I think to wrap this video up, what I'd like to do, and we had somebody going by somebody actually here earlier. They've had to leave, unless they came back. But we do have someone just tuned in. So welcome to the channel if you've never been, or if you have. Okay, and you left. Oh, okay. Huh. Yeah, I almost kind of didn't remember seeing that. It's a Saturday. Restaurants might be busy, but if it's a little past noon hour, it might be better. Yes, I'd like to wrap this up with a song. And I was doing this thing where I was trying to. Okay. You know what? Maybe I'm not meant to, though. There was still, I think, some worthwhile things in this. And although I very much love the idea of either starting and finishing or one or the other, a video with a song and a musical, sometimes it's hard to think of the song. Sometimes, there's nobody there at either spot. And especially at the, as I'm finishing up, it makes more sense that the person might not hear it even if I did it. Again, I could be wrong. I'm curious if anybody's ever watched some of my longer videos to the end, or at least skipped ahead and then watched, till it finishes. But I'm struggling to think of things at the moment. But it is the weekend. G's home. Maybe we'll do some music together. But in the meantime, I'm going to wrap this up before somebody else tunes in, because I don't feel bad instead of wrapping it up right as they do so. And they did. And they did. It's okay. I'm not mad. I'm happy to have you here. I was just about to wrap up, but I'm not super rushed. Although I haven't eaten a lot, and I kind of want to go out for lunch shortly. Okay, you left? So let's leave it at that.